Greetings to all the learners. I am Faculty of Science in SRN International School, Jagatpura, Jaipur. Dear learners, today in this knowledge video, we will be studying about a very important chapter in class 10th, biology, that is life process. And in this chapter, we will be studying about blood, the different components of blood, their function and their parts. So let us start with what is blood. Blood is the biggest connective tissue in the body. It helps in carrying oxygen to the different parts of the body. It is a fluid medium that is made up of three components, that is RBC, WBC and platelets. The red blood cells are also called as erythrocytes. The function of the red blood cells is to carry oxygen to the different parts of the body. Do you know why the red blood cells are red in color? The reason is the presence of a red colored pigment, that is hemoglobin. Now let us study about what is WBC. The WBC are probably the only cells on the earth which are polymorphic in nature. The word polymorphic means they can change their shape and size, and they don't contain any color. That's why they are also called as leukocytes. In the circulating blood, 5000 to 7000 millimeter cube of WBCs are present. They prevent the body from any kind of infection. Now let us study about thrombocytes or platelets. The function of platelets in the body is to clot the blood at the time of trauma or any kind of accident. They don't have any nuclei. Now let us study about lymph. Lymph is also called as the circulatory fluid. Whenever blood oozes out from the arteries, then the red part remains in the arteries and the veins, but a colorless yellowish liquid comes out of the arteries and the veins, and this is called as lymph. It always flows in one direction, that is from tissue to the heart. The cells are also called as lymphocytes, in which lymph is present. The lymph eat up germs and prevent the body from infections. Now let us study about blood pressure. There are basically two types of blood pressures in a healthy human being. They are called as systolic and diastolic. The force that blood exerts against the wall of the vessels is called blood pressure. This pressure is much greater as in the arteries than in the veins. These two types of blood pressures, as I have already told you, depend upon the contraction and the relaxation of the heart and are termed as systolic and diastolic blood pressure. The blood pressure is the pressure of the blood inside the artery. During ventricular systole, contraction is called systolic pressure, and the pressure in the artery during ventricular diastole, that is relaxation, is called as diastolic pressure. The normal systolic pressure is about 120 mm of Hg and the diastolic pressure is 80 mm of Hg. But due to age or due to any kind of mental pressure or exertion, the pressure can go high or low depending upon the condition. The blood pressure is measured with an instrument called as sphygmomanometer. High blood pressure is also called as hypertension and is caused by constriction of the arterioles. It may be due to the deposition of cholesterol in the arteries. It also results in increased resistance to blood flow, and it can lead to rupture of an artery and internal bleeding, which is also called as hemorrhage. Disorders related to the circulatory system. Now, the first and the foremost important disorder of the heart is heart attack. Like all the other organs, heart also needs food and oxygen. When arteries supplying the heart become thick due to age or faulty diet consisting of excessive fatty food, muscle cells of the heart cannot beat in the proper rhythm. We can also say there is a deposition of cholesterol, in this case in the arteries and the veins. When cholesterol is being deposited in the arteries, it blocks the passage of the arteries, because of which the pressure on the heart increases. When the pressure on the heart increases, it again develops a rebound pressure on the arteries, because of which the rupture of the arteries can take place or the heart can fail. This can be detected by the ECG, and the full form of ECG is electrocardiogram. Now let us think about anemia. When hemoglobin level falls below a certain point, this condition is called anemia. The condition of anemia is more prevalent in the women because they have menstrual cycle as compared to the men. It makes the person weak and look pale, and also it is associated with loss of diet and fatigue in the women. Now let us study about transport of materials in the plants. The transport of water, that is the roots of the plants, take up water and minerals from the soil. We have already learned this water moves up from the roots to the leaves from needle-like structures by the process of photosynthesis, and this is done by the help of xylem and phloem. The xylem helps in keeping the water from the roots to the different parts of the plant, and the phloem carries the prepared food from the leaves and from the roots to the different part of the plant. Now, transportation of water can be studied as the upward movement of water and minerals, which is termed as ascent of sap, is against the gravity, and it is due to the transpirational pull. Transpiration is a process because of which a temperature gradient is developed between the roots and between the leaf. In order to maintain this temperature gradient, water moves up from the leaves to the different parts of the plant. This evaporation creates a vacuum and pulls up water through the xylem. Now let us study about transportation of food and other substances. This is done through the phloem and is also called as translocation. Transport of food material, sugar and other food molecules synthesized in the leaves are transported to the other parts of the plant through phloem. Sieve tubes are the living cells of the phloem which help in transportation of the food. Now let us perform an activity. In this activity we will fix some plants and we will check the impact of photosynthesis, that is the impact of sunlight. In this we will cover one of the plant and the other plant will be left uncovered, and we can see the pot which plant has small droplets of water inside the plastic seed. This is due to the transportation of water and transpiration from the leaves. In this process, the plastic does not allow the water to come out, which can be seen in the form of droplets. So let us summarize all of the things that we have learned. The molecules move in and out of the cell by diffusion, osmosis or active transport. In the most animals, blood circulates through heart and blood vessels to reach all the parts of the body. The heart in the human is a four-chambered, two upper chambers and two lower chambers consisting of auricles and ventricles. The capillaries are thin blood vessels which help in connecting the arteries and the veins. The lymphatic system is made up of lymph vessels in which a colorless fluid called as lymph flows. And in the plants, water is absorbed from the soil by root hairs and reaches leaves and other parts through the xylem vessels. So this was all in the knowledge video for life process. If you really like the video, please share and subscribe. Till then, goodbye and God bless you all.